Hi everyone, welcome. It's Bobby. I have a real pretty card for you today. The one I'm making is using the Swirly Birds, and I just stamped 3 images up here, and then I stamped these swirls with Versamark, and he'd embossed them with white, and I just thought it turned out really pretty. It's just a little bit different take on the Swirly Bird. And then I used the Cottage Greetings for this stamp, and I wanted to stamp white on the inside, but it did, and I re-inked the white pad, but it doesn't show up really good, and because I didn't use the Misty to stamp it, I couldn't get the precise stamping exactly and go over it again. So I'm going to do that as well on the second card, but I'm going to use the Misty so I can stamp it twice in the same place. And then I used some of this Sweet Sugarplum ruched ribbon to make this little bow, and Lisa Curcio gave a tip on how to make this little bow, and it's perfect every time. It's really cute and easy to make. So what you need to make this card, of course, is the Swirly Bird stamp set, and I just used the small ones, and I'll show you how I did that. And then I used Cottage Greetings for this, wishing you ridiculous amounts of happiness, and then on the inside it says, hope your day is wonderful. So let me lay those aside. I used several colors of ink, and I have 3 of the markers out just in case your stamps, your background stamps, don't come out perfectly. You can fill them in with the markers and nobody ever knows the difference. So there's the white stamp pad. Okay, on the front, well, let me tell you the sizes first. This is Sweet Sugarplum, and it's a half sheet of cardstock. I've got something sticky on there. A little bit of a glue dot, I think, was on my other table. This is Sweet Sugarplum, and it's a half sheet of cardstock cut lengthwise, so it's 4 1/4 wide, and the full length of 11, then folded, scored and folded at 5 1/2. Then I have Perfect Plum at 4 by 5 1/4, and Whisper White at 3 3/4 by 5, and that's for the stamping. So let me get some of this stuff out of the road here where it can work. Okay. For the flowers, I used Flirty Flamingo, Perfect Plum, and Sweet Sugarplum. So we'll open those 3. There. Okay, on the stamp set, I turned the small one backwards. Let me get it out of here. I used 3 stamps out of this. Is this the tiny leaf? No, that's not the tiny leaf. Where's the tiny leaf? Stuck right here on the back of that. I'll tell you, they stick to everything. That's why this other hint of Dawn Griffith was a good idea when you're stamping, to have a plastic form that you can put your stamps on. Her husband had made her one, and I just bought this one down at the dollar store. It's actually to put a picture in here. It's a picture frame that stands up, and when you're using your blocks and you need to change your stamps, you can just stick them up here, and that way they don't get lost, because they'll stick to anything. I'm not kidding you. I'm still looking for one I can't find, so hopefully I will. Now this is the small one, the small swirl. I turned it backwards and used the back side, and when I did it before I had a hard time getting it to stick. I don't know why, but I just stamped 3 flowers, and I started with and you need to ink it up really good to get a solid foundation, and I just inked up my finger, and I'm going to get it right up near the corner. That came out pretty good, huh? I've got a baby wipe here with me just so I don't contaminate my other stamps. So I don't have enough room to bring the stamp cleaner in here and set it out. And this one is, it doesn't make any difference which one it is. We're going to get one of each one of them, so who cares? So we need to ink this up. And let's turn it around this way so it faces a little bit different direction. And I hope you're getting a good view of this. Let me check my camera. Yeah, I think you're getting it okay, I hope. I'll push some of this towards the back so I can move this forward a little bit there. And then one of this, and we'll turn it around this way and stamp it off the side just a little bit. Now see, that one didn't stamp completely perfect. So what you can do, because you want your background to be full, and just go in here with your marker, and it'll level out these little white spots. And once we do the embossing, it won't even show up. The only thing about making this video is I can't really show you the embossing when it's finished other than on my card, on my finished sample, because I don't have a way to pause my camera and restart it like a lot of people do. And I'm going to stamp on here with the swirls. I turned it over. And then we'll stamp this one. And then after we're done stamping, what you need to do is use this same swirl pattern and stamp over your swirls with Versamark and heat emboss it with white. But if I stop my video to do that, I can't fast forward it and do all those little tricks the other gals do. One of these days I'll have a camera that'll let me do all those things, but I'm fairly new to the videos and I don't have all that equipment yet. I've spent so much money trying to accumulate all the cardstock and the paper and all the doodads that go along with it that I just haven't invested more money in a camera. Let's close these up. Oops. Now we need a few of the little leaves, and I'm going to use let me stick this up here, Emeald Envy, the new Emeald Envy. It's a really pretty color, but I don't want it to be real dark, so I'm going to stamp off and just add a few little leaves in here to the side. So they're kind of trailing down the card. Okay, let me wipe that off. When I get done with this, I'll take them in the other room and clean them real good with the Stampin' Scrub. Now I used the smallest flower in the set, this little bitty, 1, 2, 3, it's got 6 little petals on it. And I used the Daffodil Delight just to kind of fill in some of the blank space. I think I need to re-ink this one. But I've got all the inkers, the re-inkers, I just haven't done it yet and I need to. And we'll put one down here. Let it kind of trail off the paper. Okay, let's put this up here. Okay, now I want to do my sentiment in the Perfect Plum. And I've got it on the Misty. I tell you, I use this thing every day. I absolutely love it. Make sure I've got the placement right for my first card. I like to put the card down in the lower right corner. That way I always know where it was to start with. And if you'll put a piece of washi tape around your magnets, if they do get stuck together, they're really strong. If they do get stuck together, you just grab your tape and they'll slide apart. Or your washi tape. So let's see. Yeah, that's still good placement. So we'll ink this up. Sometimes I have trouble locking these stamps into place. I was doing it one day, and the thing flew off the mount right across the floor. Talk about your shocker. I wasn't ready for it to come apart. It's the first time that happened. But it went right back together, so it was no big deal, but just kind of startled me. Okay, I'm going to press that down. And I want it to be just a little bit darker. So this just makes sure that you get perfect placement every time. And you always get a nice, good impression. Okay, so that's good for that. Let me wipe this one off. And we'll get it off of here. I don't like to leave the excess ink on it, but I like to clean it when I get back in the other room. See, did you hear them click together? And you can just slide them apart. So this will be for the front. And on the inside, I want to do the Cinnamon in Whisper White and I want to make sure I can get it darker this time. So I'm going to open my cardstock out, and I don't think it's going to hurt anything to do it like this. Okay, Whisper White, where'd you go? Over here. I have a small area to work with. Let me get my... Okay, and this one is also red rubber. This comes with a foam mat on the inside, this little piece. And when you're using photopolymer, you need to put this back in there to give it the cushion that you get with this kind of a stamp. Oh, I pulled the wrong one out. I don't want to put that. I don't want Happy Birthday on there. Okay, this. And hope your day is wonderful. And I want this to be centered up about so. And then when you close your lid on it, this grid on the top has a straight line on there, and it shows you if you've got it straight. And this one I need to straighten up just a hair. Now let me look at it. That looks good. Okay, so we're going to ink it up. And this time I should be able to do it twice and get it spot on. So there's that. Now let's do it again. Oh, I've got lots around the edge. I hope that doesn't come off. Let me wipe some of that off just to be safe. And I want it to come off on my cardstock and show a big white blob. Okay. Almost. Let me get a little bit more off here. Okay. And that should work fine. Yes, that's much better, much better. Okay, let me wipe this off. Yeah, I love having this thing. I just use it constantly. Dropped one of my baby wipes. Okay, so we'll take this out of here. You're going to have to leave it open for a little while because it takes the white a little while to dry. I should have waited till I was done with the outside. But I can go ahead and put the layers together anyway. So we need the ruched ribbon and the tip that Lisa Curcio showed. Let me close this so I don't dip something in Perfect Plum. Is take any pin or type object like that and something round, and you need to make sure you're going to have enough to wrap around the card. So we're going to tie a knot like so, tie it pretty tight, and then tie it again, secure your knot, and then you need to be able to slide it off. Okay, now this loop that you've got that was around the barrel of the marker, you're just going to pull it up so it's even and cut it. Now we're going to cut this off because we just need that portion. Oops, I got the white open. Let me close it too. I know how I am. Alright, now lay this one on top of that one and this one on top of that one. And just tug a little bit to tighten them. Like that. And you've got a perfect little knot. Isn't that cool? That's the neatest thing. The one thing I forgot was tape, but I can use glue dots. Let me use glue dots. So let's put a glue dot on each end of this on the back to secure the ribbon. And we want it down about so. And we'll put one over here. Okay. So we're going to put, oops, I shouldn't have laid it on there. Well, it didn't stick. I got lucky, didn't I? So we're going to wrap it around here and just adhere it to the glue dot in the back. Like that. And then we can trim these off. I always end up with too much in the back, but better too much than not enough, right? Alright, let's put some Tombow on here. Maybe. It always wants to do this for a video. This might be the one that, I don't know if you can refill these or not. I didn't notice Stampin' Up! Selling a larger size of it. Here we go, we get the new one out. And put some on the ribbon here, make sure we get a good seal. And we want to center this on the Perfect Plum. Still looks a little wet. I'll hold off a little bit before I mount that on there. But the only thing I have left to do is to mount this piece on here, and then I'll stamp the swirls with Versamark and use the white embossing powder and heat set it, and then this one will be just exactly the same as this. The only difference is the inside will be easier to see. So I hope you like this video. I really enjoyed making this card. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave me a message on either YouTube or Stampin' Up. I'm at Bloomin' Hearts at Stampin'Up.net or Bloomin' Hearts at Facebook.com. So let me know what you think. And earlier today, actually today, this will be posted tomorrow, but today on Wednesday, I'm posting a video about changing the name of Bloomin' Hearts. So if you would take a look at that video and give me your opinion, I sure would appreciate it. Thanks guys, see you later, bye.